guys, and welcome back to my channel. Compliments of the season to you, and I hope you're looking forward to a nice, peaceful Christmas and a happy new year. Well, today in the studio I have with me Taiwo, who is an entrepreneur, and he runs a quite different business. He does print, but he's going to explain a bit about his inspiration, his challenges, and his dreams for the future. So welcome, Taiwo. Can you please introduce yourself and your business to my lovely audience?
Hi guys, my name is Taiwo. I run a print service business called Print Big UK. We are based in Hackney Wick, East London. We serve the local businesses and beyond the local environment. We specialize in large format printing, which comprises of large posters, banners for exhibitions, for events. We do brochures and various types of prints.
Okay, great. Thank you for
that. We have been running for the past 15 years.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that. I was actually going to ask you how long you've been running. So it's 15 years in this place in Hackney.
We have been in this environment, in this local area for 10 years.
Oh, 10 years.
Yes,
so where...
We have moved from different locations.
Okay.
In the same streets, actually.
Oh, so it's all been local?
Yeah, same area.
Okay. So people might be asking or wondering what inspired you to start this business?
In actual fact, my own story is different. I wasn't inspired to be a printer. I was actually working for a print company.
Oh, okay.
And the print company went into liquidation.
Oh.
And that was, I decided to buy the whole...
Wow.
Whatever the business was that I had. Well, the original destination was Nigeria.
Wow. That is interesting. So you were working for a company, they went into liquidation, yes. And you just moved in and bought their stuff.
That's right. That's how the whole story started.
Wow.
And we tried for over a year trying to get into Nigeria. Okay. I had some business associates in Nigeria that we were supposed to partner, but it just didn't happen.
Okay.
So then we had to go back to drawing board, rather than just sell the equipment and whatever we bought, that just set up in the UK.
Wow, that's interesting. So, with your experience, because obviously being an employee to becoming an employer or a business owner are quite different things. So, what skills, or did you know enough about the business to be able to venture out on your own?
Prior to working for that particular company, I had been in business for various years, but then decided to go back into education.
Oh, okay.
My background is in business management and administration. Okay. So I went into IT.
Oh, okay.
Studied and certified as an Oracle database developer. I was looking for a job then the company was local to where I was, and they were offering a very good role and opportunity, so I decided to join up. And a year after, they went into liquidation. But over that period I was with them, I sort of picked interest in the printing itself and been looking at Nigeria and here. As at that time, even within the UK, there were very few large format printing companies. Wow. So I was going back and forth Nigeria, and I could see that there was a need for it. There was one company that I knew in Nigeria that there were only two of them providing large format printing. And they were very similar to what the company I was working for was doing. So when the company went into liquidation, I just thought this would be a good opportunity to go into. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So because you said it went into liquidation and you went to work there. So what was your role with that company?
I was managing the IT.
So you were in IT, yes, so that means you weren't even doing much about it. So you weren't like delivery in operations or delivery.
No, I wasn't in the production sector.
Wow, that's a big risk to take, because I actually thought you were working on it. That's a big risk to take. So that maybe goes back to some of the qualities you possess as an entrepreneur, because very few of us would actually take that move, because you're taking on the stock, you need the skills to be able to run the company, and also you need to deliver profit. So can you give us an idea of what did that look like when you actually first started? What kind of support did you require, probably in terms of understanding the business and capital to actually start?
Even though I said I had been in business previously, it was in different types of business. So I had no experience. Knowledge in a particular niche or industry is very vital.
Yes.
When we are going to a business, so you're careful taught us to go into it. But in this case, it was something that happened, and I just had to take almost an instant decision.
Yes.
But I paid for that after, a few years after, because then after buying the business set up, and then realized there are some key roles that the business could not even afford. So I had to go into another business, another company to learn how to do certain part of the
Wow.
production because it was the high end of the production,
Technical, yeah.
and I couldn't afford to be paying someone, so I had to learn it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one, I didn't have the clientele because the company I was dealing with
Okay.
were not the average printer.
Yes.
They were dealing with agencies.
Okay.
So the agencies would have to bid for a job.
Yes.
And so it's not like the print shop
Coming,
setup.
yes.
So you have to have that sort of customers
Yeah,
before you can go into
so
the
they're
type of-
special.
It was a special. You have to.
It's a
so
niche,
it's
like a niche area.
and
Okay.
very in terms of financial capital outlays. Quite because one of the machines we bought was a 3.5 meter wide machine, and it was worth about I think it was about $250,000. That's at that time, but we didn't buy it at that. We didn't buy it at that rate because we bought it cheap anyway.
Okay.
But it was that kind of setup that you have to have. You have to have the finance. You have to have the understanding. You have to have the clients.
Okay.
You know, and for a black man,
I was going to come to that.
Shop. You know, it's easy,
but it's almost like you bit off more than you could chew. But
I did. Absolutely.
But it all came around and come on, you've done a great job. But and these are some of the options. But I wouldn't advise anybody out there to go with. No. Would you advise anybody to do it that way? To go into a business that you have nothing, no idea about, and then you have to learn. But you know what? That's life. Sometimes people actually thrive better when they go into an environment where it's either sink or swim. And in your case, anyway, you did.
I would advise now anyone going to yes, it's good to have passion. It's good to sort of take risk, but you have to take calculated risk, and you have to know where you're going because I found out where I was going and where I was in it before. So it was a case of I jumped before I looked. But that risk-taking aspect of part of me was what was. Yeah,
but that's a personality trait. Because some people would never have dreamt of it, but you. Yeah. Because working for a company, they go bankrupt, you decide to buy it without knowing anything about it, and then you have to then learn on the job, as it were. Yes. So how long did it take you? So what kind of capital would you say is required to start a business like this?
In recent times, you don't have to, because those were days where we didn't have internet.
Analog.
We didn't have the World Wide Web. We don't have the AI that we are having now. So you have to embrace what is current. Yes. There are different types of printers. Okay. We started as a production company. Okay. We were actually mainly large format production company. Okay. We were not doing anything like business cards, or it was mainly large billboard size. Okay. It was billboard that we were doing. So. But over the years, we've seen the downward slope. Because the digital media has actually now been taken over by the digital. So we've had to transform ourselves. We've had to reinvent.
Digital transformation.
So we went into small format as well. So going back to your question, you have to, within the print industry, it's quite wide. Yeah. So you have to look into what area do you want to set up as? And specialization is important. Yes. We have gone from specialization to being jack of all trades, and we have moved back to where we started, which is working for us now. But we have also moved away from production to client facing. We will get the job, and we have associated within the business. We do some aspect of the printing. But some aspect of the print, we sort of like a print project. And
you delegate out now.
Actually, we were doing Love Island, all the scripts.
Oh, wow.
So we were doing Island, we were working for BT, working for ITV, we were printing the scripts and some of the delegates, and we still do some. So what I would advise you have to carefully look at the print industry and look at what aspect, because you can be into fabric printing, you can be into t-shirt, but specialization is actually paramount. You have to have an area, you can have the other things that you do, but let people know you for what you do, because that will be your strength. Yes. Because then you don't spread yourself too thin as well. So that's what I would suggest. In terms of capital outlay, it's all dependent on what you want to do. I can't really put it.
You don't want to comment.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So obviously, you've talked a bit about some of the challenges, but can you talk about some of the challenges that you've actually faced running the business? And I know you've said you've had transformations.
That's right.
So if you can maybe talk about once you've already got yourself off the ground and maybe breaking even, are you making some profit? What were the challenges you then faced as a person, and of course someone from the ethnic minorities?
Okay. The first hurdle we had to scale was our customers, because our customers were agencies. Okay. And it was a case where they would take, the agencies are the one that take the job from the client, and they look for companies that actually within their list. And then you within that list, you bid for jobs.
Okay.
So finding those people that kind of okay, you want to have. I mean, one, I didn't have a background in printing, the production itself. I was just part of a process, you know. And now you have this big setup. You have no background. You have no history. You know. You have no, so a lot of the agencies were so wary, and also, I'm not saying this. I don't think it has to really skin color as much as you have no background. Yes, nothing they can look at. Who have you dealt with? Because when you are operating at that scale, it's not just people just saying, "Give me a poster or whatever." It's actually, you know, sort of high end.
Demonstrate.
So that the challenge was to get the customer, but then we have to sort of look at, okay, if we are not getting those, what else can we deal with? And then we start focusing on local businesses, which are still the core customers we have up to date. You know, the first ones we go are dentist. We accelerated that period. So simply because, I mean, there wasn't any careful plan. It's been a long journey, but, you know, looking back, I thank God for everything. But I would sincerely advise anyone that is going into this business to look at who are my target.
Yeah, definitely.
What do I want to serve? What do I want to provide? And so it was mainly because we didn't plan for that. Was what the first hurdle we had to face. And then in terms of what area are you focusing on, you know, it took us a while because I didn't have a background to find that.
So it took you longer. So
that was the early stage. But in recent times, it's just been the pandemic. We didn't close down for pandemic.
Yeah, you said.
You know, we have with the staff studies, so only 4 of us anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, but everyone was running during that period. The reason before that was we didn't know when we were going to open, and we didn't want to close down and open, and then not knowing what you are going into. But if you are still running,
you have an idea.
So there was that. So,
furlough.
Furlough. Yes, that's the furlough. So we had that challenge, but we actually gave us an exposure to new things as well.
Of course.
And, you know, it was a good time for us to prepare. Yes. You know, it was during that period, we're now looking at digital marketing, because beforehand, we were not actually actively marketing ourselves. I personally did not see the value of marketing, but it's actually very important as well. So we learned through that. So the challenges ahead is very important for an entrepreneur to have that ability to evolve, to change, and to be looking out for changes that's occurring in their sector, market, you know, and seeing how they can actually, you know, take advantage and we mustn't be too fearful, because within any situation there's always that opportunity for every entrepreneur anyway. So,
because you mentioned that you do digital marketing. So which platforms do you use?
We are quite visible online now.
Yes,
but before that we were not.
Okay.
You know, I had someone that worked for me for a year and was pushing that, and I thought, come on, forget this thing. And the person actually left out of frustration because I didn't say it. I just didn't say it. I knew, I mean, it was necessary, but I didn't say it, you know. So it's important for us, for an entrepreneur, to see the technologies that are coming about. Definitely. AI is the new one, which is we has a lot of, you know, benefits for those who understand it. It's not it's going to take jobs, but it's going to enhance businesses. Yes, it will. It's going to open new doors. We have one on our website now that answers all the questions.
Oh yes, those chatbots.
The chatbots, which we built ourselves. It was built internally, and we can, you know, interact with them. Still keep feeding with new data that we have. So it's important that you have to be very much moving with times and, you know, ready to change.
Okay, that's interesting though. Yeah, your journey has been actually interesting. It's been nice to listen to you. So if anybody was thinking of starting up this business or any other business, what 3 skills would you say are important to them, important to have?
First, because depending on how you're going to start, you know, you have to realize that this is a risk, you know, and your research will show the problems that lies ahead that you will not see if you don't do that research. But you must be ready to take risk.
Yes.
Knowing, what to look for. You must be prepared to change with, because what you plan 2 months down, we are in a very difficult, volatile time. We have disruptive technology that's changing things. So what you knew last month is different now. You know, so it's important for you to be up to date with what's going on and have a keen eye on where you want to go. No matter what the changes are coming around, because if you are up to date, you will see how that change will affect what you are doing. So passion for what you're doing,
Yes.
you know, because if you solely live just for money, the money might not come when you're expecting
Yes,
it.
definitely.
And if you're not ready to carry on, then that's mean that you are shutting down, and that's a
Yes,
clear loss.
definitely.
So beyond the passion for the, you must have that resilience that
Yes,
even when
definitely.
things are pushing you down, you keep climbing up. That have to. This is, and you just have believe in yourself. People say, "Oh, what's the point?" And within this industry, so many of my people who I've known over the years that have shut down. And they say, you're still doing it. I think we have been helped with the fact that I've always been looking beyond, what's happening now.
Yes.
So
Forward.
you see things coming quick before everybody says. So
Yes.
majority of them didn't see a lot of things that have happened in the last few years. So, and they kind of couldn't cope and shut down. So to have a belief in yourself, it must be based on facts. You have to see the potential that lies and focus on that.
Yes.
And specialization, because people like to talk to specialists.
Yeah, of course.
Use technology to figure out where you're going, know your customers, know where they are, their demography and all that sort of things which you can easily get from online tools now. So that will help you in actually focusing on an area and help guide you along. And I'll bring one thing which is probably business people don't like to talk about. Your belief system is important.
Yes.
I'm a Christian.
Thank you very much. I was going to ask you about the future then. So, next 5 years, where do you see this business yourself?
We have, like I said, we've actually had to reinvent ourselves.
Yes.
We've seen that there's no point reinvesting in. We've always been in production, so there's no point us investing in huge machines because we have companies that specialize in certain. Everyone is starting to specialize now. So we are in a very lucrative part of East London now.
Okay.
Stratford is just behind us, yeah.
And
we are in the heart of Acne. We have UCL, we have VBT Studio. We are investing more in technologies.
Okay.
To take advantage of the online.
Yes.
Because people can find us easier and a lot more can find us online.
Okay.
But we have to be seen as a specialist in an area. And there's still a lot of opportunities in the large formats and even in the small formats.
Okay.
So the future lies in that. We'll invest more money into technologies and people, because as we are not investing too much into production system anymore, that we are outsourcing.
Okay.
Quite a huge amount of what we do is actually outsourcing to the right people who specialize in different
what
areas.
cities you need them.
So people could book on.
So you're almost like project managers, kind of.
Yes. So people tell us we have a project on that. We do a lot of restaurants in the city, so relevant to the community. Because if the people come from, so can you print a poster and say you don't? So what kind of print company are you? So, but that's not our core business.
Okay,
Obviously.
and it's good though because it keeps you up to date with.
That's right. We are very much
materials.
in tune with the local community. We work with quite a majority of the creative companies, artists. I mean, Acne Week has always been.
I know it's a hub of
so we work with
the creative types. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody watching now who thinks, oh, you know what, I want to start that business and I need some mentorship or someone to speak to, are you happy to support them?
Absolutely.
Okay. Which social media? Because you said you're
on Facebook.
You're on Facebook.
We are on Google My Business.
Okay, so you do paid.
Yes.
You do paid
Yes.
SEOs.
Yes,
as well. You do all that paid SEO.
We do. We are talking about digital marketing now.
Yes.
Your backlinks.
you do all of that.
Those areas are very important for us because that's what you find the traction where people find when people are searching the search word, how you come up, how you rank, determine.
Okay, so you do all of that.
We do it
stuff.
So we are combining print marketing with digital marketing.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you, guys. And so I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any comments below, if you want to work with Taiwo, or you have anything to say about anything you've seen on this channel, let me know in the comments. So see you in the new year. Take care of yourself. Compliments.